Top 5 Monday to everyone in the sports universe. This is the AM Drive live on our Twitter and YouTube pages. For Aaron Crouch, I am Michael Carvelis. It is Monday, June the 12th, 2023. Aaron, how was your sports weekend?
Sports weekend was good. Good. The Knights are one win away from a cup, and they're one sloppy 2-minute segment away from actually already winning the cup. So life is okay right now. But we've seen Florida do this before. So I'm not counting my chickens before they're hatched.
I got to see more baseball this weekend. Was not happy with the Miami Heat once again. Being close with the Nuggets. I mean, the Lakers did the same crap too. They were close, but they weren't good enough to beat them. And now I'm scared for tonight because I have to wonder if we get one tonight in Denver. It's unfair right now.
Hey, you talk about baseball. Don't look now. The Oakland A's, have won 5 games in a row. They almost made my top 5. Just kidding.
Yeah, right. So what their record is? Oh yeah, no, 17-50. That's crazy. Who they beat the last 5 games?
So they took 2 out of 3 from the Pirates, and then they swept the Brewers on the road.
Oh wow, Brewers are falling hard.
That is a fact. They were, as of, let's see, I have my list here. As of April 24th, the Milwaukee Brewers were in my top 5 at one point because of their pitching, and that has actually May 1st they were number 5 in our rankings. Whew, they have fallen.
Repeat that last part. You kind of muffled.
As of May 1st, they were number 5 in my rankings. The Brewers, they have fallen off obviously since, but damn, they have fallen off hard in real life.
Las Vegas internet is back, baby. I love it.
Is it bad?
It's yes. MikeandAaronDrive.com for the best in our merchandise. Click the Our Store tab, and also the best in all of our other sponsors like Fanatics. Aaron, try to do Fanatics for us. See, you're back now. You're good.
All right, good. I'm back. It's very simple, guys. Fanatics, if you want these awesome hats, if you want these awesome, not these hoodies specifically, but awesome sports hoodies, maybe the shirt like Mike's got, you got to go to MikeandAaronDrive.com and click the Fanatics logo. It looks kind of like that. If you want to get everything, sports merchandise, memorabilia, apparel, everything you can think of, including the NLL merch, golf merch. I wonder if they're going to have the Live Golf now coming up soon or whatever that's like. Make sure you go to MikeandAaronDrive.com, click the Fanatics logo today.
Better or not. It's your choice is yours, but it's better to click it. The Denver Nuggets I'm not going to say took. They look for their first NBA title. And I'm telling you what, like I said at the outset, it's very annoying because I know the Lakers could have gotten some of those games and they just didn't. Miami's been a little bit less competitive, but it seems like Denver's keeping these teams at arm's length, but it's like you feel like they're going to allow a run and they just don't do it. It shows you their coaching is so good. So I ask you this question. Who wins tonight, and if Denver wins, do they coast to a win? I see this one being close, but I feel like I've said that the last 3 games now.
It's tough because I think Denver wins tonight, but I think Miami leaves it all out on the floor. Like I don't think like any stone is going to be unturned. Now, do I think Udonis Haslem's going to be getting another game? No, but I mean, I think Bam and the boys and Jimmy and all these guys, they're going to leave it on the court. I think Denver sneaks away with something silly like a 3 or 4 point victory. Like where they know they're in a fight right at the end, but ultimately, yeah, I think Denver gets their first title here.
I have to imagine those Heat covering the spreads in the last couple of games has not been fun to bettors. I mean, they had taken like 20-point leads and erased them and still lost by like 6 in the end. But
yeah. Tonight the line is like 8.5 or 9. The last time I looked yesterday, I'd take the Heat in this spot. I know that, like I said, the only place they've been able to get a win was in Denver. So I mean, you have to look at the spot. If they're going to if they're going to come back in this series, they get 2 out of the 3 games where they, I don't know if I guess you say played the best, because I mean they kind of have played the best. Their best game was game 2. Like the whole figuring out, let Jokic be a 50-point scorer, or would he get 40 something in game 2? They almost, I wouldn't say they abandoned it. They just didn't seem to want to play that same style, and it doesn't make sense. It's like
It's puzzling.
If you have Shaquille O'Neal and he can't shoot free throws, when you're Greg Popovich, you continue to foul Shaq. You don't just say, well, we know he can't shoot free throws, but let's go double team Kobe Bryant. Like, no, you continue with the same formula that has gotten you success. It seemed like, what I've watched of game 3 and 4, they had no interest in really doing that. And Jokic
Yeah.
Now, is that Jokic, is that Nikola Jokic adjusting? I don't know. But, the situation here is, it seems like Miami and a coach like Spoelstra would continue to put their foot on the gas of the successful strategy that's working. And it doesn't seem like that's what they did in games 3 and 4. And they paid the price for it.
I agree with that. And that was my main concern after we won game 2 was we had this conversation before, like you said, about Jokic letting him score, because I said this team gains too much momentum. Like when you let the Bruce Browns and the Aaron Gordons and all these people just go off, they're not supposed to. You can argue until you're blue in the face, but Aaron Gordon is basically a bust still in this league. But he will have these great games because they're letting Jokic pass. Like instead of laying off of him, why not guard him, or like why not lay off of him is what I'm saying, instead of guarding him. It just, Bam has been too inconsistent. I also think Heat's shots have not been falling. That's my main concern is they can shoot the 3 better than what they have, and that's what's scary to me if you're a Nuggets better. Because this series is, if you look at this, like the money lines on these things, it's so lopsided. It's like there's no way that's possible. But Miami's just not hitting their shots.
Well, it's probably the situation that's been going on all playoffs. I mean, Miami was up 3-1 to the Bucks in the first round, and they were still a dog to win the series. Like, I think you nailed it. Like, it reminds me of like the 2009 Magic. Like, it was live by the 3, die by the 3, and they lived by it for 3 rounds and in a regular season. And then Kobe and the boys came to town, and it was like the Magic couldn't hit a 3 to save their life. I mean, they were just so bad. I mean, they had Turkoglu, Lewis, Petrus and Jameer Nelson, all these guys that were just nailing 3s all year. And you guys have the same, kind of concept here. You have Strus, you have Vincent, you have Caleb Martin, you have all these guys that have just gone ice cold. And, the MO has been, well, there's always one guy that will pick it up. Well, that ain't happening right now. It seems like all the guys are just flatlined. And, Jimmy's getting his, Bam's got a good stat line for a finals center.
Right.
But you're never going to win if these guys don't get, at least 2 of them get hot. I mean, and then Tyler Hero, this whole Willie won't he thing. I mean, just call it on him at this point. I mean, there's no real rhythm to get him back in this. But if like a guy like Duncan Robinson and Max Strus can get in and each put up, 15 points, 5 threes or whatever, however you get to 15 points, if each of those guys can get there, you're back in the series. You really are.
Agreed. And I think that's one thing I want to caution Nuggets fans on is I'm not just saying this as a Heat fan. I think Miami is too smart of a team. I mean, obviously everyone knows they're not just going to lay down, but I feel like a lot of people are getting into this trap of saying, well, Nuggets are so much better. And I hope fans realize players might start believing that too. I think Jamal Murray's been great. I think Jokic has been fantastic. But there's going to come a time when the Heat role players, and it might be tonight, when they step up, and it's not going to be just so we have a 3-1 series lead, we're the far better team. These games have been mighty close. Like I said against the Lakers, I'll say it again. These games have been close. So because your role players are going off doesn't mean the other team's role players can't go off. And that's what's concerning to me if I'm a Denver fan.
You said they've been close. Obviously, the final score has pointed to the otherwise at that spot. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, game 4 was how big of a spread? I think it was 9.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the final. I think they won by 14 in game 3, 14 or 15 in game 3, and 9. I think 9 or 10 in game 4. That little bit of, like you said, that little bit of role player influence can change the nature of these games. And like you said, the psyche. If you were hitting all your shots and you're still down 3-1, at least you can feel confident. Hey, we're going to go down guns blazing. Now you guys, the bank's not open. The bricks are laying a foundation for a mansion here at this point. And, you're going into game 5 just saying, like, are some of these guys saying, what's the point? Now, the question here, and this might be a good bet, like Heat first half, are they going to throw everything they have at Denver? And if it doesn't work, are they just going to give up in the second half? But I think Heat first half +4 might be a decent bet if you think that they're just going to come out and throw the kitchen sink at Denver right now.
That's a fair point. And by the way, if you want to make some real money, this is insane. I know it's 3-1, but Aaron, it's +2,000 for Miami.
That doesn't mean you're going to
20-1.
That doesn't mean you're going to make real money. You got to still hit it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's such a big lopsided thing. Like, they're basically telling me the Heat have no chance, and I just don't believe that. But I feel like the Nuggets have won handily. The Nuggets have not blown us off the floor like, oh, God, we have no chance. Like I said, albeit again, if the Heat role players get some confidence, Nuggets are in trouble.
Well, those are two different things. Sorry, I have to disagree with you with you've probably watched more of the game, but I will say I've watched more basketball in the last week than I have probably in years. Watching the game with my eyes, I think you're watching with rose-colored glasses. You're getting run off the floor right now. You're getting run off the floor.
Disagree.
You can't say that you're not getting run off the floor, but if the guys would hit shots, like they're not hitting shots right now. Now, can they? Sure. I mean, the series, like you said, the series is over. However, I think Jimmy does what he does. Bam does what he does. That's fine. They're not getting run off the floor from the offensive end. But being able to continue to contribute, I'm sorry, I disagree with you in that spot. They are getting run off the floor. And does that change with some role play? Like I said, you give me 12 points from two of those guys consistently for the next 3 games, I think you're in it. Now, do you win? I don't know. I don't think so. But I think you're in it. But none of them. They're all. I don't know if they're all like, well, the next guy will step up. I mean, they're all bad. They're all bad right now.
Duncan Robinson's been the best one, and that's concerning for me. Is Gabe Vincent and Max Strus have been the most consistent this playoffs, and we're letting Duncan Robinson be the best player in terms of reserves, and that can't happen. Like it's nice what he's giving us, but if that's your best role player right now, yeah, you're going to lose by 30 tonight. So.
Heat +4, 4.5 first half. I'll take a flyer. See if they come out with their guns blazing here.
I think Heat find a way to win tonight. I'll just say it one more time. I can't lose. Maybe the Heat colored glasses, but I have a feeling I don't think this thing is done in 5. I have more faith in this Nuggets team against the Nuggets team than that.
So if it's not done in 5, they're going to go back to a place where they've gotten blown out or they've gotten beaten pretty well. Do you think they have a shot at winning a home game?
Yeah, I think some people were wondering if the Heat would go up 3-1, and now the Nuggets are up 3-1, and I think turn everyone on their heads. So yeah, I think there was a shot. You go to 7, but it starts with game 5. Forget all the other stuff.
Sure, I mean, for a team, you have to take it one at a time. But as us who are on the outside, you're looking at the way the series can play out the rest of the way. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to feel good, I guess. You'll feel a little bit better winning game 5, but it's hard to feel good going back home where you got ripped in 2 games back to back.
Yeah. Tyler Hero, I know you mentioned him briefly, and it seems like, well, he might not come back. What if Miami steals game 5? It will be stealing it because they're plus 310. If Miami finds a way to get this game, does the series change a lot for you with Tyler Hero? Because if anything, I want to see a decoy when you're coming back after like a month or so. But he provides something that the role players have not had. They have something to lean on. Like Tyler Hero's a ball handler. Does that change for you if they win game 5 and he comes back for 6 and 7?
It doesn't make sense to me that he has a broken hand. Like, you don't come back from that in a month. So I understand your decoy theory, sure, but he's not going to be able to facilitate. I can't imagine he's going to be a catch and shoot guy at best. And I'm fine with it if he takes a roster spot from like, I don't know any other guys on the bench, but let's just say
Haywood Highsmith.
Yeah, if he takes a roster spot from Highsmith, who probably doesn't even see the game, that's fine if you want to stick him out there. But I don't know. His impact or his presence doesn't have a huge impact on me.
And one more thing, are you surprised that Kevin Love has not had a lot of playing time? That's concerned me a little bit.
Kevin Love?
I haven't seen Kevin Love as much as I thought I would in this finals. That's been a little bit weird to me.
I mean, theoretically, the guy he was supposed to be guarding Game 4 went off, and Aaron Gordon.
Off the bench, we can bring Kevin Love.
He starts, doesn't he? He plays like 20 minutes a game.
Yeah, but I feel like I'd rather have him come off the bench and just drop some corner threes. Say screw it.
Can he even do that anymore?
I think so. We'll find out. Let's see a word about safety, and then we'll talk about those hockey pucks. We'll be right back.
If you're driving, please remember to use your car's Bluetooth speaker while listening to the AM Drive. Sports talk is not worth your safety or the safety of others. Thank you.
Still up here on Fanatics. It's AM Drive. Aaron, your Golden Knights are up 3-1. I have watched a ton of hockey in these last 4 games. I wish I would have watched it all because these games have been awesome. I didn't like at the end of Game 4 that they got gross again. I just think it's just so stupid to me. Like Kachuk, I don't like Kachuk. I don't know what. I just don't like him. He comes across as some smug little buddy. He comes across as some guy you want to punch in the mouth. I'm glad the Knights have done so. I know not Aiden Hill, but I know Jack Eichel was hit pretty good after he laid somebody out in Game 3. But I think Vegas is going to blow him out in Game 5, though, all in all. I just didn't like the end of Game 4.
I do hope that's the case. I don't want this series to linger for the same reasons as Denver. You don't want to go back to game. You don't want to have to go back to Miami. Even though you've been good there. I mean, the Knights really almost should have had this thing wrapped up with what happened in Game 3. You get to overtime, you let these teams hang around, and that's when you just low key get punched in the mouth and throw Stanley Cup away, throw an NBA final away. But yeah, for me, Kachuk is too good of a hockey player to be a scab like this.
Yep.
Like, he's not Ty Domi, he's not Max Domi, he's not. Some of these other guys that are like not on the Corey Perry, like the Corey Perry of the world, who used to be a phenomenal hockey player who just lost his edge. So to stay in the league, he turned into a scab.
Okay.
The Ryan Reeves of the world. You're not that person. So to me, it feels disingenuous that you have to become this idiotic hockey player. And whatever, every team's got him. I mean, they've already got another one with Radko Gudas. He's a guy who's not good at hockey, who has to be an enforcer goon type to stay relevant. I cannot stand Radko Gudas. He was a former Bolt too. So, no, I mean, it's been a great series. Obviously, the first 2 games were, a lot more of a margin, but these last 2 have been right there. I mean, Vegas is, up 3-0 going into the third period. Or actually 3-1. They got a late cheap goal.
That was bad.
The double doink off both Vegas players. It's just insane. But
somewhere Cody Parkey's got a rope.
It's exactly. And it's funny because everybody on Twitter. Good God, for hockey fans, Twitter is the softest place I have ever seen in my life. Like, oh, Pietrangelo should get suspended for coming out of the penalty box. Like, dude, the game's over and his team's getting attacked. Montour comes out from left field to just cross-check McNabb right into Aiden Hill. So Aiden Hill sees it. Of course, he goes.
I love Aiden Hill. I love that about Aiden Hill.
I have no problem with the physicality. What's going on here now? If you're going for intent to injure, which Florida has had a small history of doing in the past, I have a problem with that. But Vegas has done a really good job of staying away from the dirty stuff, getting the coincidental minors, because Florida is really fast. 4-on-4 hockey for Florida would be great. They want that. They want to drag Golden Knights into the box. But got that frog in my throat this morning.
I had one too. Yeah, it was good.
I will tell you this: such a perplex stat that we have so many game misconducts and all of this stuff that's going on in between whistles. But the Panthers won't fight anybody. There is no fighting penalties so far in these 4 games.
Oh.
They won't sit there and line up and scrap with somebody. Like I could see Nick Hague or Carrier or Colzar. Not a single Panther has actually lined up head to head and said, "Let's go," because that doesn't
cheap shot.
That doesn't benefit them. The cheap shots, the intense injures, the dragging Golden Knights in the box to make 4-on-4, because a fight won't change the number of guys on the ice. So I don't love this style of hockey, but good God, if Vegas is up, 3-4 goals in the end of this next game, we could have an all-out Donnybrook at the end here. I think Golden Knights will end it tomorrow night. But I think it'll be another one of those close battles where, we're looking at potential overtime. I mean, I think it's like a 4-3, 3-2 kind of game. Vegas has let this team hang around the last 2 games. I don't love it. I definitely don't love it.
Aiden Hill saved the end of game 4 was phenomenal. He had no stick. What?
I just said I don't even remember what I said. Go ahead. It kind of froze there for a second. So
right, I love that Aiden Hill had no stick and then stuck his left leg out. Like it's because when that melee broke out, you can't see anything going on. When they show that replay, I was like, that's just incredible. Aaron is just like, yes, but
in real time, I looked at it. I'm like, he's still whacking at it. I'm like, the game's over. And of course, even before he took the first shot, if that would have went in, the game was actually over. It didn't matter.
Right. I love your point about Tkachuk because he's too good of a player to be a weirdo. It's like his stick skills by the net are really good. Like he is so good at shooting the puck. Like, why are you taking these? What are you doing, dude? Like you're trying to be. Like, what is that? It makes you wonder. Like the Memphis Grizzlies, so many talented guys. Like, what's going on that you have to do this stuff? It's just weird to me. It doesn't make sense.
And you're right. That's the thing. It takes their focus away from actually playing good hockey, and it's quite unfortunate to see because, like I said, Matthew Tkachuk's an incredible player. I mean, I don't have to tell you his little playoff run has been incredible, especially the last series against the Hurricanes. What do you have? 3 game-winning goals in a so it's a situation here that it's funny because everybody's sitting here commenting on it and complaining, and everybody's saying, "Oh, the refs are in the pocket of the league, and the NHL's handing Vegas a cup," and it's
right.
Oh my goodness, it's just I don't know. I can't take hockey Twitter too much anymore, and it makes me laugh, but it's one of the highest rated NHL Cup final in the last decade.
Wow. Okay.
It's
Maybe
actually
because
it's the second highest rated. Do you know what the first highest rated one was?
Vegas and Washington.
Yep.
Well, you know why? Because you had Ovechkin and this new team. That makes sense.
Yeah, that was the highest rated one, and then this is the second highest rated one in the last decade since 2013.
Wow. That means if the Kraken make it next year against those Bruins,
they're looking good.
Save this moment, baby. Bruins and Kraken next year.
All right, why don't you cut that up and put it on a YouTube short?
Might as well. Any last parting gifts or shots since the Panthers do it so well?
No, I'd like to see this thing wrapped up. I mean, I have tickets to Game 7 if it gets there. I prefer it not get there, obviously, but I'm kind of sad I'm not going to be in the building tomorrow. So if it's wrapped up in 5.
Wow. And shout out to lacrosse for those that are watching the growing game. More great games this past weekend. We had these rookies in Premier Lacrosse League are looking pretty sensational and making top 10 plays every weekend. So I want to plug that in there because I'm awesome. When we come back, we're doing top 5 teams in baseball, and Mike's finally got a good list. We're right back.
All right, welcome back to the last segment here of the Monday show, presented by Agridime. If you are looking to get the best in grilling this year, please make sure you visit Agridime store or go to mikeandaarondrive.com and click the logo that looks just like that. When you go in there, put everything in your cart, meats, anything you can think of. They even sell it by the freezer full, ship it right to your door. But when you're checking out, make sure you use AM Drive for 10% off your order. Once again, AM Drive. Mike's pointing at it right there. You can see it on that side over there. I know, I'll get it straight here. There you go. See it right over there. Code AM Drive, 10% off your order at Agridime. Order today so you can get it in time. It's getting warm out there. It's grilling season. Let's go.
We'll say, is that one easier for you? Okay. Top 5 baseball teams. It's time. We're ready. I've been watching a lot of baseball, more than I should have, actually. But I'd like to go first here, sir. And I guess since you're taking a cup, you're okay, good. We're going to do number 1 is a team that has been up here for a while, lost it last week, and they're back up there because this Rays team just took 2 out of 3 against the Rangers. And again, 31-7 at home for Tampa Bay is absolutely insane. It's unreal. And they're 5 games ahead of Texas for best record in baseball. Rays, you are back on number 1. Number 2 are the Rangers. Plus 149 run differential is the best in baseball, but losing to the Rays did not help that run differential. Number 3, the Houston Asterix at plus 55 and 243 runs allowed is the best in baseball in terms of best defense. Number 4, the Atlanta Braves. The Braves are plus nice 69, which is 3rd in baseball behind those top 2. They took 2 out of 3 against the Diamondbacks, 2 out of 3 against the Rangers a couple weeks back. They're 20-10 on the road. And number 5 was tough for me. It was between the Baltimore Orioles and the Los Angeles Dodgers, and one key stat stuck out for me. 21-12 for the Orioles on the road, 17-19 for the Dodgers on the road. I value road baseball. Orioles at number 5, even though the Dodgers have the 3rd most runs at 367. But I got Rays, Rangers, Astros, Braves, Orioles.
Fair enough. We got 3 teams in common here.
Nope.
Actually, I think we have 4 teams in common. But I will start off with my number 1 team. They've been there all year. I look at this list because I keep track week to week, and it's same team at the top. It's Tampa. 48-20, like you said, taking 2 or 3 from those Rangers, who are going to be my number 2 team. Like you said, 31-7, 140 run differential. And they're just don't stop. It's incredible. I know in the beginning of the year it was like, well, yeah, but they haven't played anybody. Well, now they've played buddies. So 48-20 is an absolutely incredible record here. 60, 70 games in the season. Number 2, we talked about it, those Texas Rangers, still 41-23. Leading the AL West with Houston.
That was good.
What's that?
That was good. You just disappeared for 5 seconds. That was cool.
Did I really? I'm back.
You're like, bloop. I was like, okay, he's back. Good.
These were tough for me because
Wait, you would raise Rangers, and who's number 3?
I haven't done it yet. So
okay, go ahead.
This one was tough for me. I gave the nod to the division leader, but it's not a large margin. But they are 8-2 in their last 10, so ultimately I put them above. Atlanta's my number 3 team, a good solid squad. They play good fundamental baseball. Right behind them in the number 4 slot is Baltimore. They would be leading every other division if they weren't in the AL East. And the crazy thing is, we say this week in and week out. Boston, 33-33, last place. They would literally be leading the AL Central.
Not fair.
I know every team in the AL East would be leading the AL Central right now, but that's the life. Number 4, Baltimore. What they've done, I didn't think it was sustainable, but they've been pretty balanced. 20-12 at home, 21-12 on the road. Like you said, they've been pretty damn good for a team that we didn't probably have the highest expectations for out of the 5 teams in the AL East. And number 5, making their first appearance in my rankings. I've had the Dodgers in. week in and week out for the last, I don't know, month and a half or so. And this team has held them at bay. It's held them at bay. They've been in first place. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They're pretty good. Like I said, pretty good split stats. A little better on the road. 20-14 at home. 20-11 on the road. They're better against greater than 500 teams than the Dodgers. I'm going to take those pesky snakes, those Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, how long they last in these rankings, I don't know. These things change pretty wildly week to week, minus a couple of weeks. But for right now, Arizona is going to get into my top 5 rankings.
They're number 7 for me behind the Dodgers, but they actually almost made the top 5 because they were number 7 last week. I just can't put them above those Orioles and Dodgers, but they're up there for sure.
Honorable mention, those Oakland A's, they're doing everything. 5 in a row, winning 5 in a row here.
Fair point. Great comeback by the Red Sox last night. They were down 2-1 to start the 8th, then rattled off a run in the 8th and a run in the 9th.
Yes, they did. I think they won it in the 10th last night, didn't they?
Was it the 10th?
I think they won it in extras last night. I could be wrong, but I think they won it in extras.
Yeah, you're right. It was 10. You're right.
33-33, and they're 14 games back at first place.
Not fair.
Insane. The AL East is so good.
Anything we can talk about on Friday? I know we got to get some football on Friday, man.
Yeah, we'll do some football on Friday. Of course, it's obviously Fantasy Draft Friday. We might have no more NBA and NHL by Friday, so we'll have to see.
No, don't say that.
He said might. We might have no. Okay, let me ask you this. Take off your glasses for a second. Not your real glasses, your heat glasses. Oh. Which team has a better chance at coming back in their series, the Panthers or the Heat?
Oh, South Florida's going to hate me either way.
No,
wow.
I think if you said none, they might hate you.
I'm going to say Miami Heat because, again, Florida Panthers are playing this brand of, punch shield with the cheap shots, and I don't feel like they're good at hockey. I feel like the Golden Knights have just controlled that series. But I feel like the Miami Heat, while the Nuggets have controlled their series, I just need us to hit some shots, baby. We're good. I'm coasting. You knew I was going to say that.
I had a feeling you were, but I thought maybe you'd have some objectivity here.
They're my vice-colored glasses, okay?
Yeah, your vice-colored. Yeah, your vice glasses. Right. I'm going to say both series are over in 5.
I'm going to say he pushed to one more. I think I agree with you on the Vegas series, though.
That's going to do it here for us. Football talk on Friday, of course, fantasy draft as always. Love to hear your guys' thoughts on our last fantasy draft. What was our last fantasy draft? It was, best players.
Guys without a ring.
Best players without a ring. It's located on our Twitter. I'll try to put it up again, maybe a retweet or something. Give us a comment. Let us know whose list is better. And, of course, this upcoming fantasy draft Friday as well. So, and in the meantime, in between times, stay tuned. Enjoy your sports week. Support the sponsors, the shop, the socials, and the YouTube. And we'll see you guys on Friday.
Drive safe.